श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
Hello everyone, I'm back with my next episode of Sunday Stories. And as you have seen the starting of the video, and you all know tomorrow is Janmashtami, so this is all about Lord Krishna, on whom I have unwavering and staunch faith. You must have read the title of the story, I Will Protect You. So this is all about having true faith in the power of God. I have true faith in Lord Krishna. You may have on some other Lord, right? And every religious sect talks about a power, and that is God. And as we have talked before also, all religions teach the same thing. You just need to have true faith in this power, and that is God. So here I have just few, stories, very short stories. I have, I think, around 4 or 5 stories, and each of them talks about that if you have true faith in God, unwavering faith in God, just surrender yourself. Do not panic about anything. There are hurdles in life, there are struggles in life, but if you have true faith in God, you will never come to know how you crossed that hurdle and how you were able to see through all the problems, how you stood successful. Every time, have faith in God, He will protect you. He has a shield over all His devotees. Just have faith in Him. So let us start with the stories. Number 1, all small stories, you must have heard here and there from your grandparents and all, even I have heard all these, but these, somehow, they have remained in my mind. And yes, because of these examples and these stories, you start having a true stronger faith. Alright, so this is the first story is about a man. He was a munshi, and he had true faith in Lord Krishna. He used to go to his office every day. He used to, before sitting on the table where he used to work, he had a small temple. He had an idol of Lord Krishna over there, and he used to go there and he used to light the agarbatti, alright, the incense stick, and he used to pray to Lord Krishna. And the whole day, whenever he found time, he was just singing the bhajans and the hymns and all of Lord Krishna. So true faith he had, and everything was going very nicely. And one more thing he knew was he had never told anyone. It was that, every evening when he used to pray to God, he used to bring 4 laddus. He used to place in front of the idol, and he used to pray, and then before going he used to lock everything and go. But when he came the next morning, he always used to find that the food was, whatever he had placed, the laddus and all, that had all been eaten. Alright, things were, a little moved, and the laddus were eaten. So he had this belief that Lord Krishna used to eat these laddus at night. Every day, without fail, he used to place 4 laddus and then go home. And he was scared that if he tells anybody, this, act of Lord Krishna might stop. He even thought of, staying back one night and seeing how it all happens. But then again, he was scared and he felt, how can I test God? If God comes, I should not test him. So he just, put away that idea, and every day he used to place 4 laddus. And this idol of Krishna had gold bangles, a gold chain. He had, very nicely he had kept. The pure gold chain was also there, and every occasion, when it was something good in his house, he used to place a gold item on Lord Krishna. So one day, when he was working at his table, some, customers came and they sat down, they had some business work. So they sat down and Munshi Bujji was, writing all their documents and all. When one of them, the people who came, one of them looked at the idol of Lord Krishna and he saw that the bangles that Lord Krishna was wearing and the chain that he was wearing was of pure gold, and somehow, he just got attracted and tempted. So he went towards Lord Krishna's idol and he, very, very cleverly, he took off the bangles and he, took out the chain. And as he was going to turn, there was a voice from the idol. Munshi Bujji was busy with all the documents, people were sitting with him. One of them had, wandered there and taken off. He took out the bangles, he took out the chain, and as, the chain was just going to come out, there was a voice from the idol and said, "What do you want?" And when he turned to see, oh my God, this idol has spoken, he just, he got so scared that the bangles also fell down and the chain also fell down there itself. And he went and, quickly went and stood over there. And he was so scared that he told them that he had some work and he just left. No one saw him doing this. Even Munshi didn't realize that, he had wandered there and he had tried to steal. Now, everybody had gone back, and when Munshiji got up, every day he used to go in the evening, bring laddus and then place them there. He got up, and when he turned towards the idol, he saw that the chain and the bangles were missing. Oh God, he became so angry, he felt so bad, and he knew these people had only come, there was no one else. So instead of going to get the laddus, he closed this, this is office, and he quickly went to the police station to get an FIR lodged, and he told them that these people were here and I made these documents. There were 4-5 people, so they need to be searched for, Lord Krishna's bangles and the chain. He had not noticed that those things were lying there only. So, and he was so tensed, he forgot, and he went back home. In this tension, he forgot to place the 4 laddus. So next day, he got ready and went to the office. And when he was opening the lock of the office, at that time he realized that, oh, yesterday night I forgot to place the laddus. I was so tensed about the chain and the bangles that I just forgot, and he felt so bad, and he felt so guilty that Lord Krishna must have, seen that the laddus were not there. He must be hungry. He'll be angry with me. I mean, he felt so very bad. He opened the, office. He went in, and what does he see? Lord Krishna was wearing his chain. The bangles were there. The laddus were there. And they were all eaten up. And laddus from the same place from where he used to bring every day, because the empty box was lying there. He was shocked. How could this happen? I did not do it. And these bangles and this chain, I have reported about this, and oh my God, how could this happen? So he quickly went to the sweet meat seller, the person from where he used to get the sweets. He went there and he asked, did you send laddus yesterday? So he said, no. There was this small boy, he came and he asked for 4 laddus. He said, I'm very hungry and he needed the laddus. So he said, all right. So he said, but you still need to pay for this because that little boy said that I am taking because someone is very busy and he will come and pay back to you. So Lord Krishna had himself, he just loved his devotee so much that he did not want to even one day go without eating the prasad or the laddus that Munshiji was placing every day. What if Munshiji is forgotten? Lord remembers his own devotees. He himself went for his prasad, Lord Krishna, and ate them. Isn't it? And Munshiji started crying. That day, his faith became more strong. It became stronger and stronger. Next story. It is about a man who used to be very angry with his wife. Whole day she used to, sing bhajans of Lord Krishna, and she used to stitch clothes for Lord Krishna's idol. She used to make the garlands every day with flowers, and the whole day she used to, just the whole day she was like Krishna, Krishna and all that. So this man was, very irritated. Said, what does Lord Krishna do for you? Just see, so many problems I am having. Does Lord Krishna come and help you? Whole day you keep saying Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna. What does he do for you? So she said, no, don't test him. I know he is always with me. I have true faith in him. And whatever you are doing and providing me is, yes, it is only because of Lord Krishna. So he said, no, you get everything, and whatever I provide you is because of my work. I do all the work. That is why you are able to eat. So, anyways, the wife knew that this man is not going to listen, so she never tried, to pester him, to make him, forcefully believe on some power or something. So, but she used to read a book, a scripture. So, in that it was written that whenever you are in problem, Lord Krishna will definitely come in, through someone. He will send his help. He will come in some, maybe as somebody else, and he will come and definitely help you. So one day this man becomes very angry with his wife on some reason, and he says, see, the whole day you keep sitting here and you keep reading the scriptures. I'll change the words of the scriptures. And everywhere, where it was written, Lord Krishna will come and provide you with things. Lord Krishna will come to protect you. Lord Krishna is there to shield you. Everywhere, he rubs Lord Krishna, and he just puts a paint on that area where Lord Krishna was written, and everywhere he starts writing, I will do it, my husband will do it, I will do it. So this lady starts crying, and she feels so bad that he has, done this with her scriptures, and Lord Krishna would feel so bad, and she did not want to hurt Lord Krishna, and she did not want the husband to do any wrong. So, now one day they were in real problem. They did not have anything at home to cook. No provisions, nothing, not even rice, dal, nothing they had at home, no vegetable, nothing. And this lady was very worried, and the whole day she was praying to Lord Krishna that please forgive my husband, and whatever is happening, I don't know whether you are angry with me or what has happened, but we are going through real problems. Please, you are capable, you are the most mighty, you are the mightiest. Please forgive my husband for what he has done with the scriptures, and because he does not believe in you, I on his behalf ask for forgiveness. Please show mercy and please help us in this situation. We are in real trouble. So now every day she was praying this. So next morning, last night she sits in front of the idol and she cries a lot, and then she goes off to sleep. So next morning the husband was taking a bath when the bell rang. So she went and opened the door and she saw a small boy over there and carrying 20-kilo box with a lot of things, eatables and all. So she said, "Oh my God, who are you?" So he said, "See, your husband, so and so man, has sent this, he had placed the order yesterday and at night, and this is for, I have brought this because he told me to bring." So he said, "My God, you are such a small boy and you are carrying 20 kgs. So he said, "I can't help it, this is because of this man. He told me to bring all this." So she becomes very angry, and she quickly takes the box and she places it on the ground, and she brings water for this boy. She brings, she feels so happy that he's brought so many eatables and all. She feels how it could be, the husband had arranged money and all. So then this boy says, "All right, I'm going, and just tell your husband that everything has been, he had paid everything for it, and to just check whether everything is okay or not." So this lady is very happy and she says, "My God, just last night I was sitting in front of Lord Krishna and asking him for all this, and my God, this such a lot of the things are so many." And then that boy had also returned, of cash also he had returned, that this is enough for this much and this cash is the remaining thing. So now the husband comes out and sees the box and says, "Oh, where did you get this?" She says, "This is, you had ordered." This small boy had come and he said you had ordered, and he has given this returning money also. So the remaining money. So this man is shocked. He said, "How is it possible? I did not tell anyone. How can you say that?" And he said that it's written in the books. You must have written somewhere where you have, placed the order and all. He said, "No, I did not write it anywhere. How could it be? This is not our food, just go and check. Did you ask the address and all?" She said, "No, I thought you have ordered. I didn't ask from where that boy had come, and this remaining money, whose is it?" So that, "See, just don't use it for now, because maybe somebody comes to claim for all this." And then he, goes and, sits, and he is in deep thought, and just, on thinking, he just turns his face and his face falls on Lord Krishna. And he feels that Lord Krishna was smiling at him. And then he feels that, what is this? Was the idol really smiling at me? He felt there was a movement. He went towards the idol, and then suddenly the scriptures pages, started, moving on its own. And what did he see? Wherever he had put that paint and written "I," again the "I" had been removed and Lord Krishna was written there. He was shocked. He bent down, he turned all the pages, he called his wife. "Did you do it?" She said, "No, I did not." He said, "Yes, last night only I saw that it was, all okay. I had written I will bring things, I will bring things." So then they both realized that it was Lord Krishna who had come to give them provisions. From that day onwards, this man also started to have true faith in Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna always helps and protects all his devotees, all his bhakt. Another story. Now, this is a story about a lady who used to stay in USA, and she married an Indian man, and he was, Lord Krishna's devotee. So the whole day this man, always used to pray to Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna. And this girl was also an Indian who had, their parents had shifted years back, they had shifted to USA and they were working there. So this lady was also an Indian, but she had been living there for since like when she was 5 or something. So, every day she used to tell the husband, why do you keep saying Krishna, Krishna whole day? On every, exclamation also, oh Krishna, all that he used to do. So she did not, she was just neutral. She never, stood in front of even the idol of Lord Krishna to pray any day, nothing. She was just neutral. She said, she in fact, used to laugh at the husband at times, that whole day he keeps saying Krishna, Krishna. So once, they were traveling, they were going from one city to the other city, and on the way, there took place an accident. Now, the place where the accident took place, one side was a cliff, mountainous cliff, and the other side there was a valley. So either when the accident took place, either it would, collide with the cliff on one side and they would really get hurt, or it would fall down the valley. Now this lady had a 2-year-old son, and she was pregnant also, and the husband was driving when the accident took place. Suddenly, it collided. There was something on the road which, probably because it was very dark, they could not see, a small rock or something, and the car, collided with it, and then it overturned and overturned and overturned and started falling from the valley. The husband just didn't know how to react. He tried to, but he just tried to control the car that it would not fall, but he couldn't do anything. Everything was so spontaneous and fast that the car started, going upside down, somersaulting, and it started falling from the valley. At that time, this lady, who did not have any belief in Lord Krishna, somehow, she started, it was automatic, she started saying Krishna, 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 and the car was rolling and rolling and rolling, and then it got stuck at one place. The car was totally damaged. She kept saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. The boy was, clinging to the mother's body, small boy. She was already pregnant. And the husband who was driving, he was at the front seat. She was sitting at the back because she had to take care in the middle also of the son who was at the back. So, and plus, she was pregnant, so to lie down on the way and all that. So, now the car did not fall any further and it got stuck somewhere. It was so dark that they did not know where they were, right? And then, she called out to her husband. The husband was conscious, and she said, how will we come out? Where are we? She said, we don't know, and I'm afraid if we move, the car will again, start moving down. I don't know where we are stuck. So then suddenly, the door at the back opened. That was the dicky door. It opened, and somehow there was a way from where the wife and her small son could move out. Even the seat back was not seen at that moment, where it had disappeared, what happened. But she quickly went, she was able to climb out of that place. When she came out, she came round and she opened the door of she tried to open the door of the husband, but it would not open. It had got stuck. So the husband, when on seeing that the wife and the son were out, he got courage and he started beating at the windshield, at the, the glass in the front, and he was able to do so, and he also came out. Only a few bruises they all got. By that time, from where the police came, who informed the police, who informed the ambulance, they don't know. They had not called anyone, and when they were traveling, there was just no one on the road at that time. Who called, whether someone had seen this happening and they had informed, or it was our protector. So quickly, they were taken to the hospital. she was pregnant. They had to check everything, plus the bruises, little bruises they had got because the car had actually, toppled down the valley and it was somersaulting. So little bumps and all they had got, but no serious injury was there. The baby in the womb of the pregnant lady was absolutely healthy. The 2-year-old boy had got few bruises, but he was fine. Who saved them? The police asked the lady, how did you come out? He couldn't come out, he broke the glass. How did you come out? Your doors are jammed. She said, oh no, there was the dicky somehow opened when we fell down and I just climbed out. He said, there is not much space. You are pregnant. There is no space for you to move out, and that is also not fully open. She said, no, it was fully open. I was able to, go out. The son also said, yes, we came out from the back. Small son, but he said, in his own way. Who opened the door for the lady? Lord Krishna. Another story. Now this is a story about a man, uneducated man. Alright. His wife was always very, very worried that you are uneducated, and every day she used to keep saying, you don't earn anything, and just see my friend's husband is a poet and he earns so much by writing poems. The king is so happy. The king becomes very happy, with the simplest of his poems. No meaning the poem has, and still the king becomes happy and gives him coins and all, gold coins and all, and they are living so nicely. Why don't you try on something? So he said, see, I don't know Sanskrit. These all the people over here, they write poems in Sanskrit. She said, you know Hindi, you can try your luck here. Write something. He said, I'm not a poet. She said, you don't have to be a poet. You start writing. So every day there used to be a fight in between the two. So one day she says, see, now it's becoming too much. You don't do any work. I have to go around working in people's houses, and I earn the little money, and that is spent on the eating, and there are times when we go hungry. Today you will not get any food. Go and write a poem, and then only you will be able to come back. Now this man is very upset. He goes, he sits on the on a rock just near the river, and he is very upset, and he starts thinking what to write on, what to write. I don't know, I'm uneducated. What do I write? What does my wife expect of me? She knew before marriage I was uneducated. But this boy was a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. He used to pray to God. Whole day he used to pray to Lord Krishna. So he said, see Krishna, I pray to you the whole day, and nothing else I have learned. My parents were absolutely fine, and I was eating and living nicely. I never felt the need of working. Little, he used to go do these, sometimes somebody would call, he used to help, he used to get some money. If no one called, no money. So the wife had to go. Now he said that now my wife wants me to write poems. What do I do? I am an uneducated person. So he becomes very upset, and he was very hungry, and he started thinking, see, now if I go home, she will not let me come in. She will not give me food. So what do I do? I'll give my life. So then he tells Lord Krishna, I'm so sorry, you gave me such a nice life, but I'm very unhappy and my wife doesn't understand me. So I'm committing suicide. He goes to the edge of the river, and as soon as, he is about to jump, he thought of committing a suicide. As soon as he was about to jump, a crow, comes flying and sits beside him. Alright. And then he looks at the crow because he got distracted. He looks at the crow, and the crow has something to say to him. He doesn't know what. Then the crow flies down, and he does something which is noticed by this boy. What does the crow do? The crow dips his beak, his chonch, his beak in water, then rubs against the rock, then again dips his beak, and again he, rubs his beak with the rock. Now, looking at this, he sits down and he keeps noticing this crow doing this. So he says, Kalia, he says to the crow, says, Kalia, I know why you are doing this. I know what is in your mind. I know why you are sharpening it. I know why you are dipping it again and again in water. And once he said this, he felt, oh, is this like a poem? Becomes very angry. He again says, Kalia, I know what you are doing. I know what is in your mind. I know why you are sharpening it. I know why you are dipping it again and again in water. He becomes very happy. He runs home. He tells his wife, see, I've just composed something. And he says the same thing. So the wife becomes very happy. All right. Something is better than nothing. So tomorrow early morning you will go to the king and you will recite this to the king. So he becomes very happy. He is, given very good food to eat, and the wife is also very happy. The next day, the wife, tells him to dress up nicely. She irons up his clothes, tries to do, dress him in the best way, and he goes to the king. Now the king was sitting with all the poets and all the learned people, everybody reciting their own thing. So this boy also takes permission and comes in and says, I have also composed something. So everybody turns around to look at him, and everybody knew he was an uneducated person. He did not know Sanskrit, and he was just, next to nothing. So the king, made everybody quiet and said, see, if he has come to me, he has composed something, and I want him to narrate whatever, recite whatever he has composed. He scolded everyone, and so he said, Kalia, I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking, what is in your mind. I know why you are sharpening it. I know why you are dipping it again and again in water. So everyone in the court of the king started laughing and laughing and laughing. The king stopped everybody and said, see, maybe these 4 lines really mean something. So he takes out his chain and he says, see, whatever it is, you have composed, and I'm very happy with your work. And he gives it to him as a reward. He says, go, and he tells everybody else, whoever will tell the meaning of whatever he has composed will be rewarded. Everybody, starts thinking, what are these lines? What do they mean? So the king was also, in thoughts as to what these lines mean. So one day he, the king called the barber. The barber had to come and, cut the hair and shave the king's beard and all. So now this barber's name was Kalia. Alright, by chance. And what he did was, he had a knife, he was dipping it in water, and then he was sharpening with a rock that was there. Before the king, king was getting ready, he was wearing his apron and all before getting his cut done. So, this barber was dipping the knife again and again in water, and again he was rubbing with a piece of rock that he had and sharpening his knife. So the king came and sat here and he said, Kalia, I know what you're doing. Kalia looked up at the king. I know what you're doing. I know what is in your mind. I know why you are sharpening it. I know why you're dipping it again and again in water. Suddenly the barber started crying and he started touching the feet of the king. Said, oh God, oh Lord, what was I just going to do? How did you come to know, my Lord? Oh King, how did you know what I was going to do? So the king was shocked. He said, what? What are you doing? What? Stand up. Why are you crying? said, "Oh my God, the neighboring king had just called me yesterday and he has given me a lot of gold coins and even a house, and now I have to shift to that kingdom. And that kingdom, the neighboring kingdom, the neighboring king, the king of the neighboring kingdom had, told me that when you go next day, you have to dip your knife again and again in the poisonous water, and then you have to, shave and whatever, so that somehow that poison will go in his mouth and that king will die, and no one will come to know." Oh God, the king was so thankful to this poet. He didn't know this Baba's name was Kalia. He was just pondering as to what these 4 lines meant, which saved his life. He went to the court very happy. He called that boy. That boy was given a job in the king's court. The boy told him, "See, I'm not a poet. I've just composed this. Don't know Sanskrit." So the Sanskrit people, the scholars and all were told to teach him, to educate him. And he was given a very good job and a beautiful house to live in. Now he had nothing that was scarce. It was all because of Lord Krishna, who sent that crow to this boy. He sends his help. He protects him some way or the other. Just have faith in God. Last story. It was about an army man. He was the only son of his parents, old parents, and he was a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. And so the war took place, and the side this army man belonged to, this side was defeated. And now these, the enemy side who had won, they were finding each and every soldier of their side and killing everyone. Now, since they were defeated, they were running to save their lives. So he didn't know where to go, and it was getting dark. So he found a small cave, and he quickly went and hid inside the cave. But the caves, the opening was open. Anyone who reached there would be able to find this man. So this man went and sat down in the cave. He was very, very afraid, and he started praying to Lord Krishna. "Oh Lord Krishna, if something happens to me, who will take care of my parents? Who will give them food? There is no one. They are so old. My father can't walk. My mother is blind. I send them food. I send them the money for food, for living. Who will take care of them? Please save me." He did this and just sat down to, quietly to just, be in hiding only. He saw a spider. A spider moved down and then started making a web. So started noticing how the spider was working, and it quickly made the web at the entrance of the cave. This whole place was the entrance was full of web. Quickly, in seconds, the spider did this. He did not understand at that time. He was just noticing the way the spider was working so fast. Then suddenly he heard the enemy army people outside. They were finding him. So he could hear them outside. "Oh no, no one can be in this cave. It's all covered with web. If someone would have gone, the web would have been broken. It's all covered with web, so that means no one is inside. Let's go further and find that man." Oh God, he just didn't know. He started crying and crying and crying. Lord Krishna sent the spider to do this. He actually saved his devotee. Have faith in Lord Krishna. Have faith in God. In the God you believe in. They will definitely shield you. Just true faith, unwavering faith is required. How did you like my stories? And do let me know in the comment section which story you liked most. Tomorrow is Janmashtami. That is why I thought I should tell you a few stories which are very close to my heart. I often think, of these stories and the miracles that happen because of unwavering faith in God. Do share with me if you can in the comment section if you have any such experiences. I had told you in my first Sunday story about my father's experience when he had gone to the Vrindavan temple. If you have not heard about it, do go through that story too. Please like, share, spread this as much as you can. God will bless you. Have faith in Him. Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Hare.